Hi friends, I welcome you for the next problem on beams for the element with or beam with uniformly distributed load as shown in figure. Here I need to find out the end reaction forces and the deflection at midpoint. The value of the E should be taken as 200 gigapascal and I is 4 into 10 power of 6 mm to the power of 4. In the problem, it is very much clear that both the elements 1 and 2 are acted with an uniformly distributed load but with a different magnitude. And if you observe carefully, our sketch, our node 1 is completely fixed. Therefore, the two variables related to the node 1 become 0, that is V1 equals to 0 and theta 1 equals to 0. At node 2 and node 3, it is very much clear that the vertical deflections are completely restricted. Since the roller are provided, there is a horizontal deflection. So, V2 is also equals to 0 and V3 is also equals to 0. Okay friends? Let us proceed how to solve this problem. So that was basically the first step. Every unit should be converted into in terms of kilonewton and meter. Therefore, the value of E equals to 2 into 10 power of 8 kilonewton per meter square, and that of I equals to 4 into 10 power of 6 meter to the power of 4. The finite element model for the given sketch will be like this. And the elemental stiffness matrix for the beam element, as you know already, first you write the elemental stiffness matrix for the given problem. Since there are two elements, I should write for element 1 and element 2. Since here the length of both elements are same and even the Young's modulus E and moment of inertia I are also same, therefore the value of K1 is equals to K2. Therefore for element 1 and 2, for K1 I get the elemental stiffness matrix at so and so, and for the K2 I will get the elemental stiffness matrix and so and so. I need to convert this elemental stiffness matrix into a global stiffness matrix, that is the K value equals to K1 plus K2. If I add these two elemental matrix, I will going to get, since there are 3 nodes, there should be 6 variables, so final matrix should be in the order of 6 cross 6. This is the final global stiffness matrix, therefore K equals to 12.5 into so and so. Once I got the stiffness matrix, I need to concentrate on displacement vector and force vector. Therefore the displacement vector will be V1 theta 1, V2 theta 2 and V3 theta 3, obviously are field variables. And load vector, finally here both the elements are acted with a uniformly distributed load but of different values. That for element 1 the value of V0 is 12 kilonewton per meter, that for element 2 it is 24 kilonewton per meter, but length is same, that is 4 meter. Therefore for element 1 this is related to the node 1, this is related to the node 2. Okay, if I substitute the value of this, P0 equals to minus 12 kilonewton per meter and L equals to 4 meter, I got for the element 1 F equals to minus 24 minus 16 minus 24 plus 16. Similarly for element 2, the P0 is minus 24 and LE is 4 meter, and if I substitute the final load vector for the element 2 will be minus 48 minus 32 minus 48 and plus 32. If I add these two elemental force vector to get the global force vector, that is F equals to F1 plus F2, finally it will be minus 24 minus 16 minus 72 minus 16 minus 48 and plus 32. I got the global stiffness matrix, I got the displacement vector and load vector, and therefore the equilibrium equation will be K into K equals to F. If I substitute those value, it will be like this. And now let's apply the boundary condition. What's the boundary condition? Node 1 is completely fixed, and node 2 and node 3 are restricted for their vertical deflection. Therefore, V1 theta 1 equals to V2 theta V2 and V3 equals to 0. So if I eliminate the respective rows and respective column, the final matrix will be like this. Okay, and if I solve this, I will get theta 2 value is minus 0.022 radians and theta 3 value is 0.051 radians. But that is not the answer, because the problem is still continuing. That is, we need to find out the maximum deflection at the midpoint. So general expression, that is V equals to H into Q, but H is the Hermite function. H1 LA by 2 H2, H3 LA by 2 into H4. So we know that H1 value, we know the formula for H1, H2, H3 and H4. So at which point, what is the value of zeta? Obviously it's equals to 0. At node 1, its value is minus 1. At node 2, its value is plus 1. So at mid, its value is 0. For element 1, the width of that element is 4. Therefore, V1 theta 1 V2 equals to 0 in the element 1. Therefore, only remaining is theta 2. So our element 1, the maximum deflection at the center is 11.4 mm. Similarly, for element 2, if I substitute the V2 is 0, V3 is 0, theta 2 value is there and theta 3 value is there, and if I substitute that, I will get V2 deflection, that is the deflection at the center of the element 2, maximum deflection at the center of element 2, it will be minus 37.11 mm. Yes friends, the problems are almost similar, but we should be very careful about the boundary conditions and very importantly the type of loading. Okay, so practice it well, and for any doubt you are very much free to contact me directly. Thank you.